Charles, here's the problem. America cannot deal with its ugliness. In Oklahoma, at the same time that we're passing the 100th anniversary, which is about nothing but economic envy. It wasn't about some black boy trying to rape a white girl. It was about economic envy. The Oklahoma governor actually had a commission, and the commission said, Charles, the reason for the massacre was too many N words had too much money. This was an official government
Hmm.
document. Too many N words. They didn't say Negroes. So you know what they said? Had too much money. And we
Hmm.
could look at the history of
Hmm.
lynching, all about the fact that black people made enormous progress between the end of enslavement and roughly 1910. When at the end of Reconstruction, though, all these laws were passed to keep us from accumulating. Dig this, between 1880 and 1910, 30 years, the ratio of black wealth in 1880, it was one black dollar for 36 white dollars. But 1910, it was one black dollar for 16 white dollars. In other words, the wealth gap was cut in half in roughly a 30-year period. Then, 1910 until today, we're looking at one black dollar for about 10 white dollars. So, how can we cut the thing in half in a 30-year period, but then stay pretty much still for the next roughly almost 100 years? The answer is not that black people are lazy. The answer is not that black people don't want to work. The answer is that institutional and legal structures were designed to prevent us from accumulating. Fast forward Joe Biden. He has the rhetoric. Oh, he has the rhetoric. And I love your term nibbling measures. I'm gonna borrow that. But you get these words. You say, "Oh, we're going to have more small business money." Well, if you can't get the small business loan, the small business money doesn't really mean anything. There are things we could do concretely. To the student loan, black women are more likely than anybody else to have student loans. We have the highest median level of student loans. Forgive the student
Hmm.
loan, or at least forgive the first 50,000 of it. 40% of all former students and about 60% of white ones don't have student loans. But most black young people have student loans. And so there are things he can do. He's got the rhetoric down pat. He has
Right.
absolutely got the rhetoric
So,
down pat. But in terms of action, and I get
right,
it, he has to be cautious, and I get it, the Congressional Black Caucus doesn't want to tick him off. But the fact is
right.
that we're not going to get anything if he doesn't do something.
Hey everybody, it's been a long time coming, but I'm officially back. First, I want to say I'm sorry for being gone for so long, but I had to not only get new equipment in order to get the best quality possible, but also I had a lot of stuff going on in my life that I had to get in order. So yeah, that's why I was gone for so long, but I'm back. But before getting into all of that, please make sure you like this video, comment, share, and also subscribe. And also, if you'd like to support me in any way, make sure you click the links that I have down below, or donate at least $1 to my Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo by also clicking the links down below. Now, getting back into these life updates, one thing that has changed is I have gotten a 9 to 5, a job outside of social media that actually pays the bills. And I also got a second job working as an ambassador for a think tank called Revolution of One. Both of these jobs have made me extremely busy in my life, as well as maintaining my life in the gym and my presence on social media. It has all definitely been a lot of work and very rewarding, but also extremely exhausting, which is why I took the break that I did. And I took that break to rejuvenate me and give me some time to get used to everything, but I'm back and I'm here to stay for a while. And I won't be taking any more long breaks from YouTube unless I necessarily need it. So thank you guys for sticking with me through all of this, but also giving me the engagement that I need in this crazy world of YouTube. Moving on, let's get into this mess that Mr. Jim Crow Joe has stirred up now. Oh Lord, let's just all take a breather before getting into this tea. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Whew. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. But getting into this tea. On October 28th, 2021, Joe Biden and his administration came out with a plan which would consider rewarding hundreds of millions of illegal immigrants with $450,000 per person in compensation who were separated at the border and affected by the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy in 2018. This consideration and plan comes after lawsuits were filed on behalf of parents and children who say they were subjected to lasting psychological trauma. These amounts could come close to $1 million per family. Now, when I first heard of and saw this plan, the first thing that came to mind was these people made a conscious decision to come into this country. Nobody made them come on American soil. Nobody. And for that reason, the American government doesn't owe them jack. My second thought was this: Black Americans have been through far worse in a matter of 400 years under the American government. And we didn't make a choice to migrate to America, neither did our ancestors. They were actually forcibly brought over here. But yet, we still haven't received the one thing that was promised to us by the American government: reparations. And this chart that I'm going to put on the screen now in particular shows every group that the American government has rewarded reparations to. And you know, it's probably more. It's probably more that they have rewarded reparations to since this chart came out. Now, I know many conservatives or people in general aren't really fond of Black Americans getting reparations. And oftentimes they use a silly talking point of, why should white people be forced to pay Black people, in order to justify why Black Americans shouldn't receive reparations. But it has nothing to do with white people paying Black people, and everything to do with the American government giving to us what they promised us and giving to us what we are owed. In particular, the American descendants of slaves, better known as foundational Black Americans. But what doesn't make sense to me is how every other group in America has been rewarded some type of reparations except for Black Americans. And the fact that the American government hasn't at least considered to pay what is owed to us and what they have promised us just shows me that they aren't really remorseful for what they have done to us to begin with. And on behalf of many Black Americans out there, I'm here to say, we don't want chicken dinners, we don't want black squares on, the internet or social media platforms. We don't even want statues of people who have been affected by the American government. We don't want statues that don't mean anything. What we want is reparations. So put your money where your mouth is, or put the shut to the up as we continue to petition for what is rightfully ours in this country. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget to like this video, share it, comment, and subscribe. And also, again, if you would like to support me in any way, don't forget to click the links down below and donate at least $1 to my Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.